Okay guys, so welcome to the session, and before we proceed ahead, we will first of all see the agenda of today's session. And now here, what actually will be the agenda and what will be the process for this. So let's see one by one. But before that, we are going to have the meeting with the customer, and let's first of all have a meeting with the customer, and then we'll start understanding the business problem. So point number one, here, whenever you are going to get, or whenever you are going to work any kind of on any kind of project which is going to be some kind of scenario, like for this we are going to have some kind of scenario like this. For example, let's say customer is asking for invoice information like this. Then how actually you are going to guide your customer and how you are going to solve the customer's problem. That is what we are going to see with a situation. So let's say we are having the meeting with customer, and here let's say customer is saying what? Customer is saying that let's say customer is saying for some kind of, or talking about some business problem, and customer saying that right now they are actually working on some data entry, and which is coming from various sources. Customer saying, I want a facility in Salesforce that by which I can avoid the improper information coming in my database. That is the simple business problem. Now we are asking customer that, sir, which kind of issue you are facing? We are asking customer which kind of issue you are facing. According to that, we can actually help our customer. So pay attention now and understand the business problem. So let's say we started the meeting, and we say to customer that, sir, can you actually explain how exactly uh, uh, how exactly we are going to work on all this process, and how we are going to work on all this implementation. So customer said right now our various branches are adding the data, and the data which is actually coming here, the data is coming in this process is from various sources, and we told all our sources that to actually to avoid any kind of such data which is coming with an experience less than, or let's say experience equal to 0. So we told all the customers to avoid such kind of data entry where experience is equal to 0. Pay attention, this is, I'm talking about the business problem. Okay, so customer said that we are getting such kind of data from our employees or various branches, where actually we told them that don't enter any such kind of data of any such candidate where actually the experience is equal to 0, because we will not be able to give the placements, and that is the reason we don't want such kind of data also. Now still we are getting such kind of data regularly, and it's becoming difficult for us, it's wasting lots of time for us to ultimately to clean the data. And now this is the agenda of the session by which we are going to proceed and learn one very useful and one very important topic, that is nothing but called as the data validation. Also one more thing, in the interviews they will be asking the question which will be actually like related to the data cleaning process. Like they will be asking in interview how you can make the data cleaning activity in Salesforce. Okay, this will be one also interview question. So let me mention all these things in the notepad, and let's start the journey. That is nothing but understanding the business problem, and then the regular approach of us starting with the solution. Okay, so you are aware about now business problem, bad data customer is getting. So here we go with the agenda of the today's session. So data cleaning process in Salesforce. In the interview they will be asking what are the ways of keeping data clean in Salesforce. This is a very famous interview question, very famous interview question. Data cleaning process. Just one minute. By the way, everyone is able to hear audio, video, everything fine for everyone. Please inform in the chat box by selecting Shaker. Okay, just want to ensure because here only one person said that not able to hear. So the person who said not able to hear, please relog in because everyone is saying audio is clear and even my network is good. Okay, just relog in and hopefully that should solve your problem. Okay, uh, so now here the answer should be data cleaning process. First of all, you can do this by validation rules. You can also do this by data loader. You can also do this by triggers. Okay, and apart from that, there are some kind of other ways by which you can ensure your data is going to be clean. For example, you can work on the schedule class, etc. Okay, this kind of answer will be there. What is the meaning of data loader? You will see in future. Trigger, future. Schedule class, future. So don't worry about all these things. And what is the meaning of validation rule? That we are going to see right now. Okay, so let's proceed. I'll do one thing. I already have, I think, notes on this, so I'll just open that file so that we can save our time. Just give 1 minute. Let me just open that notes. Mhm. Right, I got that file. So I'll do one thing. At the top of the file, I'll just mention this point and let's get started. So this is we are going to see today. Okay, so let's proceed. So what is the meaning of validation rule? So first of all, I'm going to tell you the business problem. Business problem. So customer is saying that experience equal to 0. If such kind of data is coming to the Salesforce environment, then this is a bad data for us. We already told many times to our employees not to enter such kind of data, and that is the reason we are just simply avoiding this information. And please note, avoiding such kind of bad data which is actually of no use for your business is called as data cleaning process. Just to ensure you'll be getting rid of this, you'll be getting rid of this kind of bad information. Okay, so please note, avoiding bad data which is not suitable for any business process, or in fact not any, in short, our business process or customer's business process. Such mechanism is called as data cleaning process, which is your responsibility, which is my responsibility. We are going to do all these things in our job. Okay, fine. So let's proceed ahead and see this business problem solution. Okay, so if I log into the Salesforce environment, so I'm going to log into the Salesforce environment, and our project is dice.com project, where I hope uh, that you are also having this, you're having a field called as experience, and that is something which is needed for this. If you are not having the field experience, then you can create. I am also not having that field experience, so I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to create that field, and you know how to create the field. Just go to the object definition page and create the field. So for this scenario, I need to teach this topic. I need the field experience, so I'm going to this page and I'm going to click on the object definition page, and I'm going to click on the new button. I'm going to click on the new button, and I'm going to select here for the experience what kind of field I should select. Can someone tell me for experience what type of field I should select? And ensure you selected the value shaker in the chat. What should I select? Yes, very good. I should select number. Very good. Number. And click on next. And then I will here mention experience of the candidate. 2 digit is sufficient. And remaining things I will keep it blank because we already know all these things, so no need to waste time. And make it available for all the departments, no problem. And go for next. And it is mandatory, not mandatory, that is again not important. So if you want it in mandatory, we can make it. If you don't want, we can skip it. All depends on customer to customer. That's it. The field is created. Now it's mandatory or not mandatory, doesn't matter. Okay. Now see here. Just 1 minute. Reopen the close tab and reopen. Fine. So I'm going to now enter the information. So what I'm going to do now here, first of all, I will be going for the process. So let's add the information. Click on new record, then click on the new button and see the bad data. How right now we are facing some bad data because right now we are actually not getting any kind of proper way by which we can avoid this information. So see here, now I'm going to enter the data, let's say, and if you want to change the sequence also, if you want to change the sequence also, you can change the sequence here. So let me just tell you how you can make the change in the sequence. So for example, age is coming first. Next we want first name should be coming first. Then you can just click on the tab. You can just click on the tab and click on any record. Click on any record and click on edit layout. The person who's getting the message from my side in the chat box, reply immediately. And then you can go to this page, guys. Go to this page. Go to this page. And then after going to this page, you can just click on the first name and drag and make it above age. That also you can, okay, that also you can use. So guys, whenever you log in, ensure that you're entering the proper name in the go-to meeting so that I don't need to ask you guys to mention your name. And if you see the go-to meeting window, you can see there is name displayed. Your name is displayed there. Okay, so you can just right click on that and you can write your proper name if it is not coming properly. Okay, so ensure that you are using the regular name, proper name, so that we'll not spend our time in asking your name. Okay, so now here pay attention how we can solve this issue. Salesforce says whenever you have any kind of data which you want to avoid and which is not suitable for your business process, then take the benefit of a concept called as validation rule. Let me first of all tell you some kind of theoretical thing. So here, validation rule, interview question, let me tell you something about this. What is validation rule? So if we want to restrict the data, restrict the end user or person who is going to make a wrong data entry, then we have a feature provided by Salesforce called as validation rule. This is a rule which we use to ensure the values which we are adding to the fields in Salesforce form are correct. Means whatever information we are adding is correct and it's not bad data. So we can use this technique to force the end user to enter only expected value. We use validation rule. Okay. Next, if we are breaking any validation rule and we won't be able to save the form, so all the validation rules need to be cleared and then only we can submit the form. Means we are doing some mistakes and it's throwing error, then you cannot save the data at all. We means customer. So that is the reason validation rule errors should be first of all solved by customer and then he can enter the prop, then only he can save the data. So this is something which forces your customer to be disciplined with the data and avoid any kind of bad data. Okay, so this is a very useful technique which we use for ensuring our data is good or clean. So let's see what kind of types of validation rules we are having in the Salesforce environment. First is standard validation rule. Now you know very well what is the meaning of standard. The validation rule which is Salesforce providing to end user by default is called a standard because you know that standard is something which we get by default in Salesforce. Before you create, whatever we get is called as the default thing, whether it's object, whether it's field or whether it's application or whether it's validation rule. So let me give an example to you how Salesforce is helping you with some standard validation rule. So let me now log in to the Salesforce environment, and I will do one thing. I will now just click on dice.com tab, click on new, and everyone please note before I forget, so let me tell you, I was planning to tell this at the end, but let me tell you, sir, that before you there is one more batch which is there, and sometimes it becomes late to start your session, maybe 2 minutes, sometimes 3 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, or sometimes no delay. So you just wait for my email, and that whenever I mail you that session got started, then you join the session. That's also fine. Okay, that's also fine. You can just wait for my email. Fine. So now let's proceed and add some data to show you the standard validation rule. Now this is age. Age, let's say for example maybe 20 or let's say 30. Okay, this is the data I'm entering. Click on save. There is no problem in this data. Everything is good. So no error came. Now see what's going to happen. Instead of this digit 30, I will mention something like this text. Now is it a correct data? No. Age should be number and you are entering text. Click on save and look at this. Look at this. Okay. Now please note here, this is done by me? No. This is given by Salesforce. This is given by Salesforce. That is the reason it's called as standard validation rule. Okay. Everyone clear? Everyone clear? Good. So almost everyone is saying clear. Now here, next, the problem is this kind of standard validation rules are only few, maybe 2 or 3. That's it. For example, instead of number you are entering text. In the email address field you are entering wrong email address. For example, something like this. Now this is the, so let me remove this now. Now let's say this is the correct email address. This, for example, maybe this is my email address. It's correct. Okay. So if I save this, and yeah, 1 minute, let me remove the 30. Yeah, this is removed. So see, this is correct. It's working fine. But now suppose my email address is not in the correct format. Let's say just I'm writing @ that's it, nothing after that. Is it the correct email address? It's wrong email address. Save it and Salesforce will throw error. That's it. Don't expect more things from Salesforce. That's it. Only just these 2-3 things Salesforce will be actually giving to you, and then after that Salesforce will be actually uh, expecting everything from your end. Salesforce will not do any kind of activities except that. Okay, then that is the responsibility comes from our side to set up all this logic, and that is the reason why actually companies hire us, because not all the things are possible in Salesforce by default. So that is the reason companies will hire us, and they will say, okay, this happens, throw error, that happens, throw error, this happens, throw error, and we start working on that. Okay, next. And now here the problem we will be having is this. With the standard validation rule there are some kind of limits. Pay attention here. So here developer admin does not have any option to make changes in that. You cannot make the change in the text or nothing. Okay, so please note this point. Next, now here second thing, email field is having standard validation rule attached with it for proper email format only. So this is one example for you. Okay, so next, also numerical field cannot add next value. This also controlled by standard validation rule, all these things. So these are the standard validation example. But we cannot run our business with just these two validations. We need something more than that. So let's go for what? For what is the next solution for us? So standard validation rule not helping you. So what is the next solution? Yes, very good. Custom validation rule. Very good. So let's start learning the custom validation rule and see here what's going to happen. Yes, anyone who gave the answer custom validation rule, customers anything, that's correct. Let's see custom validation rule. We cannot rely on standard validation rule always. Hence, we need to generate our own logic and conditions as per the business requirements to generate a customized validation rule. Developer, admin have any option to make changes in that, or let's say for example, let me modify this statement. Have options to make any changes. Okay, developer admin have option to make changes, or let's say I would say has option to make changes in that. He can make any change. Example, let's say Salesforce by default, so validation, let's say for example Salesforce by default validate numerical data to present in the number field, but we can define range, even, odd, limit as per the business logic. Okay, for example, percentage, or let's say for example discount field cannot have value more than 40. Okay, let's say there is a discount field in the business and we mentioned the discount, how much discount we are planning for the customer, but as per the rule of the company you should not give more than 40% discount. Now is it possible by standard rule? No. How Salesforce will understand that your business is not going to give more than 40 discount? How it's going to understand? So this will be your responsibility. This will be done in the customized way. Next, validation rule will work on the record creation or also will be on the record update. This is the interview question. Please note it will work on both. You create the record, it will work. You modify the record, it will work. It will work in the both scenarios. Okay. Next. Now let us do one thing. Let us now try to go for some kind of demonstration, or we are going to work on some kind of demo activity. So now see here, I'm going to show you one demo. So here we will now, so we'll see the demo that experience is 0, then throw error. Okay, how we can achieve this? Let's first of all, any changes you have to do about your object or any work you have to do in your object, the solution is what? Whenever you want to do any kind of configuration for your object, what is the solution? Yes, object definition page. Very good. So do one thing, go to the object definition page and go to this part. Let's say maybe you can go to the field and you will come to this page which we saw in the topic called as field creation. Okay, so in this page just below that you can see, so in this page just below that, now you have to implement the functionality. And now what we are going to do here is just come down, and there is one option called as, see here, there is one option called as validation tool. Here you are going to write your custom validation tool. You write here all these things. Okay, but right now there is nothing, so let's create new one and click on new. Okay, now this page is going to be helping you to set up your business logic. So pay attention, this one is important. And at the beginning we need to mention rule name. Now your wish, you can mention any name. Let me mention here, for example, let's say validation. Let's say validation rule for experience, for example. Okay, something like this. You can enter any name. Ensure that it is active. If it is not active, then it will never work. It will never work. Okay, error will never come. Description, you can mention anything. When experience, or let's say validation rule for zero experience, like this. And now this is one important area. This is your business logic area. Here you are going to mention your business logic, and you need to tell to Salesforce at what situation you are going to throw error. Okay, so you are going to ask Salesforce at what situation error should be thrown. So this is your business logic area. So first of all, here forget about all the technical things, whatever technical concepts or technical output we are going to plan. Forget about everything and just assume, for example, I'm telling you that forget about technical things and speak in a simple English language. Do what? Mention here in a simple English language. Suppose Salesforce is a person. Let's say, for example, this is you, and let's say this is, for example, Salesforce. So how actually you will speak to Salesforce? What instruction you will give? That you write here. Okay, let's do this. So we will mention when experience is equal to 0, then throw error on the screen and avoid such data. Okay, correct. This is what you will say. So if your answer is also same, or if we are also on the same page like the way I said, then you are going in the correct direction. Then 50% concept of validation rule is clear to you. You are going good if you are also thinking the same in your mind. Now the remaining 50% will come into the picture when you will convert this simple English statement into the technical statement which is suitable for a validation rule. So for that, let's do one thing. Let's ask Salesforce that is this statement correct or do I need to make any changes? So Salesforce is saying, see, then throw error on on screen and avoid data and etc. So here we are asking Salesforce, and Salesforce says you don't need to mention all these things. I know my duty that in validation rule here that we are going to throw error. All these things I know. You don't need to tell me that throw the error and all these things. I know my responsibility. So remove this. Okay, no problem. Let's remove this. As you're saying, you know your responsibility. Next, now we are asking Salesforce, is this correct? Salesforce is saying this is a condition statement. So again, I know whatever you're entering here is nothing but a condition. Then why you are using when, then, if, but and all these things? I don't need all these things. I know it's condition. Remove this. Okay, let me remove this. Now we are asking, is everything good? Salesforce is saying, what is this experience? Now we are saying you don't know experience. Experience is a field which we just created, and by the way, you should be knowing all these things. It's a field in the Salesforce environment. Look at this. This is the field experience which is mentioned on the form also. And if I go to the object definition page, then there also this experience field is mentioned. So I am asking to Salesforce, or let's say we are asking to Salesforce, you don't know experience? Look at this. There is experience field. Salesforce says, please note, if you speak with me in this language, then I never understand because this is not my language. If you want to speak with me, speak in this language. I understand this. So I don't know what is the meaning of experience. If you just write this, yes, then I understand. Because Salesforce internally use this API name, and you know very well, I told you in the field creation agenda that this is something for customer, this is for client, this is for end user, and this is for internal use for Salesforce. So Salesforce will not understand. So we will do one thing, we'll just copy this and paste it here. And by the way, in my environment, you will see this shaker underscore coming. You can neglect that because in your environment it will not be coming. Now I do some freelancing work also, and for some kind of such process I had to create some kind of packaging and etc. At that time this got initiated. You don't worry about this, you neglect this, this will not come in your environment. Okay, so it will come like this in your environment, experience underscore C. So whenever in the entire syllabus, whenever you see anything is starting with shaker underscore underscore, just neglect that. Okay, this will be only in my environment, so just neglect that extra word. Okay, so now I'm using this. So this is one way. Another way is, if I don't copy this, then there is one more way to take the API name of that field. Any guess where it can be? The hint is on the screen only. The hint is on the screen only. From where I can get that information. Any guess? The hint is on the screen only. Yes, very good. Insert field. Very good. Okay. So put your mouse cursor here and click on insert field, and then select your object dice.com. Don't select any other thing. Select only dice.com. Then select experience, and then it will show you the insert button. Say insert, and that's it. The value coming here. Okay. Now let's ask Salesforce. Is that clear to you? Now you're able to understand? Salesforce says yes, absolutely. Now I'm able to understand what is the meaning of experience, because in the API format. Next, now Salesforce is saying what is this is equal to. I'm saying I'm comparing. So Salesforce says please use operators, not like this kind of text information. Please use operator for this. Now please note guys, we can use operators listed in this option. Add, subtract, multiply, all these operators are available for us. Which one I should select? Tell me which one I should select. Yes, I should select equal to. Very good. That is single equal to. That is single equal to. Okay. So now I'm going to click on equal to. That's it. Now 0. Salesforce saying don't use text information, use number. Okay, number is added. Now Salesforce is saying, yeah, now this is perfect. There is no problem in this. But Salesforce is advising you one more thing. Salesforce is saying do one thing. Always keep checking this button so that it will tell you are you going correct or not. So let's do that. Click on check syntax. And you can see it's saying no errors, means everything is good. Everything is good. Okay. Next. Now we need to mention here error. Means Salesforce is saying that Shaker, suppose by some reason, by some mistake, suppose your user entered value 0. You should tell him at least, right, what is the reason of error. Instead of giving error blindly, just tell him this is the reason because of error. So mention some error message. So when we can write something like this, that sorry, we cannot place candidates with 0 experience. Simple. This kind of error message we can give. But where? But where? Salesforce is asking you two options. Here or here. Means you want to give error here or you want to give error here. Let me see your understanding in terms of customer point of view. Let's say you're a customer. Okay, you're an end user. So which will be comfortable for you? Error message near the field or at the top? Which we think will be the comfortable for customer? Yeah, very good. Very good. So this kind of thinking, this kind of understanding also should be there in your mind, and near the field is the correct answer. Good job. Everyone gave correct answer. Very good. So please note, if you can think in the customer point of view, you can do lots of good things in your career. And if you are going to think only on technical point of view, then you will be average admin or average developer. Nothing special you can achieve in terms of the progress or salary. You will have a job, no doubt about this, but in terms of having fantastic progress in your career, you will find difficulties. So you should be always thinking first in terms of customer point of view, and then make your customers projects good, easy, smooth, and that's it. Then you can see good changes or good progress in your hierarchy of the company as well. That is your position. So select field. In that, which field? Of course, experience, and save, and that's all. Our validation rule is ready. Please don't forget to ensure it is selected, it is active, otherwise it will never work no matter whatever you do. It will never work. Okay, fine. It's time to do testing. Now we are doing, by the way, this is the testing we are doing for our own work. Means what? It's what type of testing? If you have any experience in IT, then you can answer this question. No need of Salesforce experience. I'm doing the testing of my own work. So this is called as what kind of testing? Very good. Very good. This is called as unit testing. Very good. So this is called as unit testing. Please note, as a Salesforce admin, as a Salesforce developer, this is one more part of your responsibility. Unit testing. Your responsibility. No matter you're senior developer or no matter whatever you are. Okay. So please note here. So by the way, there is a question that can we use multiple language, or let's say for example different language. So please note, definitely we can use multiple language in Salesforce. For that you have to put some lots of extra efforts, and for that you have a concept called as translation workbench. Okay, so for example, for let's for example Hindi. For example, your customer is asking for Hindi. Okay, your customer is from Hindi region. Let's say India, and he asking for Hindi. Or let's say for example Chinese customer is there and he is asking for Chinese language. So first of all, you need to write all the words. Let's say for example, let's say no experience. Then replacement word for this in Chinese, something like this, or let's say something like that. Some Chinese language. I don't know Chinese language. So first of all, such kind of conversion you should mention and write all those words, and thousands of words you need to write. It's not so easy. It takes lots of time, and then you can achieve this. But this concept is available in Salesforce called as translation workbench. Okay, you should be first of all ready with all this language replacement word and then use this translation workbench. I hope you got the answer. Okay, now let's move ahead, and now let me tell you some more important information. So please note, if we already present record, if the record already present, say for example 10 records present before we create validation rule of the age, and all those records are having age less than, for example, or let's say all those records are having let's say wrong data. Okay, in such case, when I create a validation rule to let's say for example, let me make it simple. If we have already present records, certain records present before we create validation rule, and all those records are having wrong data, in such case when I create a validation rule, um, what will happen? Okay, so please note, nothing will happen until you update the record. Means if you are already having any data in the database, Salesforce says I don't care, your data is already gone into the database, now I'm not going to do anything for that. So whether the data is zero experience or whatever that is in the database, now I cannot touch. Yeah, but suppose user opens that record again and try to edit and save, okay, then at that time Salesforce will throw error. So please note, whatever is gone is gone. Okay, next, if you want to make changes in those 10 records mentioned above, what we can do? Okay, then in this case you will learn this concept by using data loader. So that is something, by the way, a future topic for you, so don't worry about this. We can just do one thing. We can use data loader, open all those records, export and modify them, and we will get all the errors and then edit the record. But don't worry about this. You will understand nothing about this line number 98 because we never learned anything called as data loader. Then how you can understand this? So I'm just writing here so that when you will learn data loader, at that time you will understand how to achieve this. Wait for that. This is a future topic. Right now, just neglect this. Next, now here, what is the error condition formula? So the formula which tells when error should be thrown to the Salesforce, that is called as error condition formula. That also, by the way, we already saw. That is, this is error condition formula. This tells Salesforce at what situation error should be thrown. At what situation error should be thrown. Okay, that you know very well. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you now the next advanced thing. See here, some kind of more important and detail. project scenarios for you. Pay attention. So now here what we need to do is this. So here the requirement is something like this. First of all, now I would like to ask the question to you guys for this, and you tell me how you're going to do this. You want to see the testing error? Yeah, sure. Just give 1 second. And I'm going to the Salesforce environment and create the record and experience equal to, let's say, 0. Okay, experience equal to 0, experience equal to 0, and see what's going to happen. Experience equal to 0 and save. Okay, so I hope we are clear. Fine. Now guys, I want some modification. Let's say we are having a client meeting and the customer is asking for some kind of changes. Okay, so here customer is asking for a meeting, and let's say for example customer asks for some kind of changes, and here customer is saying what customer is saying. See here now. So first of all customer is asking the age experience equal to 0, you should throw error. That is all working fine. That is good. But apart from that, we are also getting some kind of records where the experience of the candidate is more than 20 years. In this case also, we want to throw error because we cannot give salary to this kind of people because the salary expectation will be very high, and it's very difficult to give job for such kind of people. They will be asking the salaries in the lakhs. So we want to avoid such kind of people also, or such kind of data. Okay, now see here, you have two solutions for this, or two solution approaches for this. One, you can do in the same validation tool, and second approach you can have, or you can do the work in different validation tool. For this new entry 20 plus, you can do the work in the same validation tool, and another is the different validation tool. Please note, if you do this with different validation rule, the things will be very easy for you. You can do this very easily, simple. And if you go with this approach, then it will be slightly hard for you, slightly. Okay. But as a trainer, ideally I should teach you the approach which is better for your learning and useful for your career than focusing on what is easy. So I'm not going to teach you this easy way because this is not something which you should be doing in your job. In the real-time project, you will be going with this approach. When you can achieve the result by same validation rule, why you're wasting the validation rule? Please note, in the real-time project, for everything, customer will pay lots of money to Salesforce. For validation rule, also they will pay money to Salesforce. For object, also they will pay the money to Salesforce. For every environment, there is limit in the object. For every environment, there is a limit in the application. So everything is limited. You should not waste customer resource like this. And even though no one is going to watch you, your manager will come to know about this, or your senior will see this. He will simply say that why you did not do this by same validation rule. You don't know these basic things also. So please note, that is the reason I'm keep on telling all these things which you are going to get or realize after getting a job. Before that only I'm telling you all these things, so that you will not be doing this kind of mistakes and you will be ready with the best pattern this industry follows without even having a job. So the ideal solution is doing the same validation rule. Okay, let's not waste the validation rule and let's modify the same validation rule, and here we go. So I will go to the same validation rule, I will edit the validation rule, and now I have a question for you guys. Now you tell me, if I have this logic, so I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste in your environment because I'm going to take some kind of test for you. And here the test is for you is this. This is my first condition. You please give me second condition. That you can copy that statement which I mentioned and give me the second condition or second logic. Very good. Correct answer. Last 5 seconds. If anyone is pending or anyone is in process, then I will tell the answer. Yes, very good. So let me now copy the answer given by students. So the student once, let's say any random answer, let's say I got this answer. Experience equal to 0 and experience more than 20. Very good. Absolutely right. Or you can also use this operator greater than. That's also fine. Or you can directly type also. Okay, good. Now when I try to save this, see what's going to happen. When I try to save this, see what's going to happen. Please note the correct answer is this, okay? Anyone did the mistake, please note this is the correct answer. Okay. So click on check syntax. Salesforce will throw error. Salesforce will say that Shekhar, whenever you are using more than more than one condition, then you should join them together with the business logic. I don't I'm not able to understand what actually is this 0 and 20 and etc. Because you're using more than one condition, you should join them together. And this is my rule. Who is saying this? Salesforce is saying to us. And Salesforce is saying you should use either or operator or and operator. I'm very sure guys you might have seen this in your at least past projects or at least in your college days or at least school days, where in the mathematics also we have used this in the mathematics subjects. I think in the 9th or 10th class we have seen this and or. Okay, so Salesforce says you use a logical condition here, so that is possible by this. You can use and, if not then you can use or, your wish. Okay, now when to use and, when to use or, please note when you want to throw error, when all the conditions satisfy or all the conditions are true, means they are correct, then only you want to throw error, then you use and. And suppose any one, or let's say minimum one condition also true, then also you want to throw error, then use or. All the condition must be true, then you use or. And any one condition is fine for you, then you use or. Please tell me the answer in the chat. What should I use, and or? What should I use? I'm going to wait for 5 seconds and then I'm going to tell you the answer. Alright, again, got almost all the correct answer. Good progress, good going. Anyone who said the answer is and, it's absolutely wrong. And those guys, almost everyone said the answer is or, you are correct. Very good. Now let me tell you the answer why and is wrong. And will ensure when all the conditions are matching, then only throw error. So if I suppose use and, tell me guys how it's possible to have a number which is equal to 0 also and more than 20 also. In the entire mathematics, show me one number which is going to be equal to 0 and which is going to be more than 20. It is impossible to have that number in the entire world. This is a wrong statement. It will never work. This condition will never work. You are going with the wrong combination. So either it can be equal to 0 or it can be more than 20. So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to use here or, and then here we are going to use this logic. Then it will work. Either this will work or this will work. Check syntax, and there is no syntax error. And now one more change we need to do. What is that? Tell me. The hint is on the screen. One more change we have to do in this page. What is that? Yes, very good. Error message. Sorry, we cannot place candidate with experience 0 experience, as well as anyone having experience more than 20 years. Okay, click on save and now go to the Salesforce environment, and now let's create a new record and see what's going to happen. Click on new. Whatever is the name doesn't matter. Experience I'm entering 0. Click on save. Let's see what's going to happen. and I will get error. Okay, experience I'm going to mention 30 and save. Again, it will give error, no data entry. Okay, experience equal to 15. Now this worked. Okay, so this way you understood how to use the error condition, you used how to use error message, you understood how to use the operator, you understood how to use the field API name. That all the things you understood. Okay, and now please note, in one object in one object if you want to add any validation rule, then this number depends on the addition that you are using. So I will do one thing, I will mention here. So I will do one thing, I will mention here. So this can be your interview question. One object can have how many validation rules? Please note, they will definitely not expect the answer from you in terms of number. So this is something which rarely they will ask, because they know that you are not a memory machine that you can keep on memorizing such numbers, because there are thousands of such things or limits in Salesforce. Limit of field, limit of application, limit of user, limit of validation rule, limit of size, limit of data. We are not memory machine here to remember all these things. So definitely, very rarely anyone will ask you this. But still, your answer should be depends on addition. That's it. They will understand and they will not ask you further question, because they know that this is depending on addition and there is no fixed answer for this. Whatever addition you are planning, as per that you will be getting the output. And right now the addition which actually we are using, or we are taking the benefit of, so that is something is developer edition. So please note, I will just give an example. So example, in developer edition, 100 active validation rules can be possible. Okay, but anyways, I don't think so anyone will ask you this kind of questions in the interview. I see every week 5 to 6 interviews, and just imagine, in last maybe 1 year, so no one asks such kind of new number question. Then how rarely this kind of combination possible in your case? Okay, very rarely anyone will ask such kind of questions. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some kind of small assignment which you are going to work after the class as usual, because we have the assignment plan after every session. So let me tell you where is the assignment. Okay, so see here, this is your assignment. So the project scenario is, you have been asked by your client to compare a picklist field and then as per that throw error, or customer said you that experience if 0 or 25, that is in our case 20 for example, 20 plus. Okay, then throw error, but only for India. This should happen only in India. Suppose anyone is selecting experience 0 and country equal to USA, that should not work. Okay, this is your assignment which I'm going to give you. Hint, you need to use the function called as isPickVal. Use your common sense, use your grasping capability, whatever you can do, and then try. If you are not able to do this, don't worry. Anyways, I'm going to explain this step by step in the next session, but I want you guys to also put some pressure and effort from your side, because after getting a job, I will not be there, no one will be there, only you and your work. So I want you guys to be dependent or self-dependent person. So that is the reason I'm giving you such kind of, or I will be giving you such kind of complex work without telling. I will be giving you the try first of all by your own and try to gain some kind of skills of being independent in job. Okay, try this. Hint is already given. And to use the functions, please note, this is the option which you can use. So at the left hand side, right hand side of the validation rule, here is function option. So for every function which you select, it will give you hint for you. It will give you hint like how to use that function. So all depends on your grasping capability. See if you can achieve this. Otherwise, anyways, I'm going to tell you in the next session. So in this session, everyone is clear. Whatever you saw, everyone is clear. Good. So please note your assignment will be: first assignment, you are going to create the experience field. Second assignment, you are going to avoid the experience if it is going to be 0. Third, you are going to avoid all the all the experience coming more than 20. And fourth, that India, ensure that all these values will be only working now for India. If you select USA and experience more than 20, no error. Australia experience 0, no error. India, then only error. Think on this, try by your own. Answer will be given in tomorrow's session. Okay, so let's meet tomorrow, same time, same link. And I think there are some questions. Let me see. Using text in so there is a question that when actually we use, the student is asking that actually when we create any object, at that time we get this by default field that is nothing but that name field, name field, name field, and this we discussed in the topic called as object creation. So he is asking, mostly we use auto number, in which case we use text. In all such cases, you are very sure that the name is going to be unique. You are very sure it is going to be unique, and you know that there will be no duplicate value, and you are going to take the responsibility of this. Then you go for the name text field. When you know the values cannot be unique, it can be duplicate, and you don't want to take responsibility, plus customer wants automatic number, then you are going to use auto number. I hope you got the answer. Okay, so when you know it's going to be unique, then only take the risk. Otherwise, simply go to auto number, that we use rarely. But whenever we know value is unique, we use text. I hope you got the answer. We have to make separate field as country. Yes, create a pick list called as country. Okay, so now let's meet tomorrow, and any help you need, any kind of information you need, you can mail me while doing assignment, and let's meet tomorrow. See ya.